After 30 children have been reported missing just in this last month. Now, police trying to figure out what is behind that disturbing trend. Here is what we know so far. Cleveland police say in May, 34 children were reported missing, and they are all still unaccounted for. They are likely runaways, according to investigators. They also say that when the weather is warm and school is out, there is normally an uptick in the number of children reported missing. According to nationwide data, about 91% of missing children are runaways. 1 in 6 of them are likely to be victims of human trafficking.
It almost, takes your breath away to think that 1 in 6 kids out of that many kids are being potentially sexually trafficked.
Now, while several 100,000 children are reported missing every year in this country, about 98% are found, according to one estimate.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this is Zacchaeus with another live word of the day. God bless, God bless. And that news source is coming out of Nation News out of Cleveland, Ohio. They reported some kids missing, about 30 kids missing since May. I don't know why this wasn't reported when more than 1 or 2 kids were missing. This wasn't reported sooner. But it's come to me that all these kids are missing all of a sudden now, and they have no. And right now they're trying to get a hold of more information, and I believe that more news, they should have reported this sooner, much sooner than how they're reporting it now, because this situation was happening since May, and what I have displayed there is the kids that are missing, mostly Black young females. The kids are from ages 12 to 17. 12 to 17, and the officials, like the police commissioner Worry, and some of the officials are saying that, they could have been missing because of drugs, or missing because of involvement in trafficking. Now, and they could have been in a warehouse involved with drugs. Now, if that was the case, then now the kids need a place to rest and to lay their heads. You don't think they would have caught them? They would have found these kids already? This is since May. And I believe that more investigation needs to be done with this situation. And as you can hear, there's more Black young girls that are missing. But as you can see, I have this displayed over here. There's not too much. They don't have a lot of people. A lot of young children faces are not displayed on the. They only have a few. You have young Latinos, and some young Black kids in Cleveland, Ohio, that are missing. Now, to me, the simple fact that this was not reported earlier, it kind of bothers me that, well, why is it taking this time for them to look for these kids? This should have been investigated a long time ago. And it's now being reported. And I always tell parents, now I remember back in my days growing up, you could have sent your kids to the store at 12 years old and 13 years old. But now, with all this sex trafficking, which is very big in certain places, and adopting kids, you gotta be watchful of your kids and be mindful where to go. Now, these kids are ages 12 and 17. And it just bothers me that years ago, when our other counterpart kids were missing, Caucasian kids were missing, they put a big thing up, and there was a big news, huge news, and heavy investigation, and people still remember it till this day. But now that is young girls and some males, it's like, and mostly young Black females, it's fishy. And to me, it's more like an agenda, that why they have these girls missing. They're just abducting these young girls, black females, and they're missing. Something is fishy about that. And the simple fact that you know how I feel about, well, young girls that are missing, and it seems like I'm hoping they bring a bigger importance to it, because this should have been reported a long time. Why wasn't it? That's a question I have for some of the officials. Why wasn't this reported to have all these children, 30 kids missing in the city? Something should have been reported a long time ago. And you should have put on a heavy investigation a long time ago to get these children back to their parents. And it just bothers me that now they're just bringing it up to attention because there's so much kids missing. And it just tells me that, well, the importance of young black females, that, okay, they're missing, so they hope it go, and the agendas are sometimes favors our white counterparts is more favorable, because if it was a young white girl that had been posted everywhere. And I'm now finding out story was since May, and I'm now finding out about it, and other people are now finding out about it. And we got to be mindful, and we got to be watchful of our kids where they go, especially when they're young, 12, under the ages of 12, 13, even up to teenager, because these are kids that are missing the ages 12 to 17. And I have young children, and I'm very, 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 very mindful of just sending them out to the store on their own and sending them to go Timbuktu, to go to some faraway camp. It's just different now. We're living in evil and different times now, where you can't just trust every and everything. We're living in some times where it's you got to think twice before you send your kids out to any far awake, sleep awake organizations, or even when you send them to the store. You don't know who is a pedophile. You don't know who is a prowler looking at your children. So I always tell parents, because I'm a parent myself, to always be mindful where your kids go, and to always watch over your kids, because we're living in different times. Not like it happened in the 80s too, where some young black girls was missing in Atlanta, Georgia, which was in the 80s, and I don't know whatever became of that case. But now I'm reading this case with children missing in Cleveland. I'm saying that this is very fishy, and I want to keep a close attention to see how well the officials investigate this case. And they will throw everything on it. They will throw, their kids they probably was drugs, or they probably was caught up in some drug ring, or caught up in something. When it comes to us, we're always caught up. And when it comes to us missing, or something happened to us, they're always quick to throw those wrenches out. Like, oh, look at those black kids. They always maybe they caught them into drugs, or maybe they caught them into some crazy criminal activity. That's why they're missing. They run away kids, not knowing that young black girls can be abducted too. Young black kids can be abducted too. Can be missing. Now, I only pray for the safety of their return. Pray for the safety of their return. And hopefully, we can get to the bottom of this investigation. It's crazy. Well, this is Zacchaeus with another live word of the day. Look, and the live word of the day is coming out of Matthew chapter 10, verses 18. Do not despise, and Jesus said these words, do not despise ones of these little ones, for I tell you that in heaven they are angels. Always see the face of my Father who is in heaven. They're angels. Our children are angels. We got to raise them right. We got to watch over them. They're precious to us. They mean a lot. Our kids mean a lot to us. So we got to watch over them, and watch where they go, and watch who they connect with, and watch, and just keep you can't keep an eye on them 24 hours. It's not reality, but we just got to be mindful and always throw an eye out on them and watch them and pray over your kids. Anoint your kids with oil and pray over them. Well, this is Zacchaeus with another live word of the day. And the live word of the day is coming out of Matthew chapter 10, verses 18. Our kids are precious and God loves all of them, and they're like angels. Angels, and we gotta mind be they're like sponges, and they feed off of everything, and they're gullible, and they'll just, I don't know what happened to these kids, but I pray for their safety return. I don't know. And all we could do is pray at this moment and this time. But this is Zacchaeus with another live word of the day. God bless and be safe out there. And thanks for tuning in. If you like the content that I shared, smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel, Zacchaeus Gospel. Thank you so much, and peace and blessings. Thank you so much. And be safe out there.